Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some bad financial decisions together. This is for entertainment purposes only, so if you're entertained, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. So today I'm very excited to let you know that we now have subscriptions on YieldMight. So what you could do is you can sign in, and we're gonna do this one over in here. And I've already purchased in here, but you can look at the subscriptions, and we have the deluxe, which is $200 per year, or the standard, which is $30 per year, or you can do it $5 a month or $25 a month. And these are the first features that I'm going to be adding for the deluxe users that are unique to if you have the deluxe version. And so you can go to settings and you can change your password and change what your subscription is. And I'm using PromoteKit to create affiliate links. So if you use someone that has signed up for the program, don't use Miss Roundhill because that's just me and it costs money. Anyways, this is just for me for testing because PromoteKit made me test in production, which I didn't appreciate. But anyways, if you go to click into one of these and you want to do that, it will automatically give you 20% off of the price, and the person that you're affiliated with will also get 20% of your purchase as the incentive for them to do the affiliate program. So I'm really excited about the affiliate program. I really want to be able to give back to the other creators and everyone who is also hyping up YieldMight, and we'll get this done together. And this was a big hurdle for me, and I'm just really excited to have this out now so we can continue to make improvements to YieldMight and make everybody's lives easier. I've been hearing you about all of the improvements that we want, and this just really needed to get out the door. So thank you all for sticking with me. And if you had been a coffee donor, if you have donated to me in the past, then I do have a coupon code for you, and I will be sending that out probably today. And so it's a really nice discount, and I'm just so appreciative of everyone that's been supporting me up until now. So let's do this together. My initial goal is to get 100 paying users onto YieldMight. That will really help me figure out how long it takes and what the momentum is and how much people still like YieldMight. So if you like YieldMight and it's helping you make more money than you would spend at a Starbucks, then please consider helping me to make doing YieldMight and the other little projects I have to make investors' lives easier, those things to be more sustainable so I can do this full time. So really appreciate that. And so I guess you could say today's video is sponsored by YieldMight. I mean, all of my videos are sponsored by YieldMight because I made it and I usually talk about it. So very excited about that. What I really wanted to talk to you today was I was in the Wolf space for that YieldMax does every Wednesday as a town hall to get feedback. And some of the more interesting highlights were Ulti is going through some prospectus changes. So as soon as I notice that it's been published, I will try to communicate with you what is going on and if it's better or for worse. But I haven't really been covering it since they changed it so that they have better fundamental companies in Ulti, and I was just waiting for the reverse split to actually happen so that we can have some kind of this is what we're expecting in the future. So I really wish Ulti the best because I've always been really rooting for it. It may not be the best thing to own, but I do think it's a very interesting fund. One of the questions that was asked is, can we do something about YMAX? Because, I mean, if you look at YMAX and the growth chart, it's just like abysmal. And so the YieldMax team was talking about maybe we can change the YMAX fund to overweight the lower volatility names that have more NAV stability, and that might help YMAX. And I don't personally think that's a good idea. What I would personally like, if they have to, introduce lower volatility single stock tickers, or just a more diversified sectors, like non-correlated things, as single stocks, and then those get added to YMAX. And so Michael Coe is even saying this over time, that if YieldMax uses whatever methodology they're using for selecting what single stock tickers they're actually going to, well, first of all, file the prospectus for, and second of all, make available to trade. Over time, if they're very deliberate with that, YMAX will become more diversified. It'll act more kind of like a biggie or the S&P 500 overall, or just like a themed ETF. So it just, because the market for the last couple months have been down, YMAX is also down. And then speaking of Biggie, they were saying actually Biggie is fantastic because a 15% return is actually way more than you get on average from the stock market. The stock market is like 6 or 7%. So we should all just be happy with the 15%, apparently. So one thing that one of the people asked was the SEC issued warnings about leverage and leverage use. And I have not seen it. I have not looked it up. But YieldMax has been actually pretty against using leverage in their funds. And I really see why, because people do lump YieldMax in with other leveraged products because the things that YieldMax is in is so high implied volatility that it acts leverage. So if you take something that acts leverage and you add leverage to it, at some point you have too much leverage and it just kind of collapses in on itself and you wind up losing a lot of money. So I think that was also a part of the, you don't necessarily need the VIX to be high for cover call ETFs. You don't want the stock to go in sharp movements either up or down. You really do make a lot of money if the market is volatile, but the price of the stock stays within the Bollinger Band, and that way you want the stock to grow gradually over time, more or less. That way we can collect the premium, we can keep the stocks, we can win the bets. The prices of the ETF and the stock both go up, and that's like, I wish that we could do that 100% all the time, but markets do have pullbacks and corrections, and that's just the way of life. So we don't actually need huge days where we just get one giant candle. What we need is for it to just generally go up over time and be somewhat volatile. So I think that goes over most of what they were talking about in the space today. And so we'll see what prospectus changes there were on next week. And I think there was an issue with Ulti, and they're changing the margin maintenance to 70%. I think it might just be one of those, it got flagged as a new fund, maybe. And so maybe after a couple of distributions, they'll go back down to 25%. But I was worried about that, which is why my Ulti holdings are in my cash account, because, I mean, Ulti is just, it's an interesting fund, but I need it to not hurt me in my margin. So we'll just put it that way. So today in Financial Philharmonics, we have Now It's Limbo, and it is a Latin pop song about how we asked for Lambo, but now it's limbo. So I think it's funny. I was amused by someone saying that and just made the whole song. So I think you might like it too. And then on amazing financial commentary, I posted this video about, are these 5 side hustles still worth going into in 2026? And I had read a Reddit post from Our Beer Money. And if you don't know Our Beer Money, it's just like little things that aren't exactly worth your time, but you make the side money to, go get a beer at a bar once a week, one of those type of things. And this person was making $30,000 a year. And I was like, wow, how much time do you use to get $30,000 a year? And they spend like 25, 30 hours a week doing it. But if you don't have another job and you want to work from home, then I guess it's a thing. So I reacted to a short video about their side hustles that they recommend, and I gave my opinions on if they are worth it or not. So if you want to support me as a creator to get this channel monetized so that I can have even another stream of income from YouTube and also see my dogs, then I invite you to go see Amazing Financial Commentary. And lastly, I would really love to thank my channel members. You all are amazing. Thank you so much for making your bad financial decisions together with me. Thank you, M. Curry, Joey, Brian, Shane. Next up, 4E, Russell, Leroy, Scott, Michael, Bill, Patrick, Spalding, BGP Automotive, Opinion in Mine, Jetta, and Omega Werewolf X. You all are amazing. And today's question is, if you were going to change YMAX, would you rather them rebalance it so that the lower IV things have more weight, or would you rather them add new single stock tickers that have more fundamentally sound companies? I think I may have forgotten to add that I would actually be okay with them having a new YieldMax fund that limited the amount of stocks that can be in a certain sector. So like there can only be 3 single stocks from commodities. There can only be 3 healthcare stocks. There can only be 3 big tech, 3 semiconductors. So limiting it to the top 3 performers in each section. And then also having it be based off of the NAV momentum of the last 3 months. So if a stock has good price momentum from the last 3 months, that weighs in on is it included in like the best sector funds. It's kind of like granny shots, but like I got excited at the beginning of the year because I thought that YieldMax was going to come up with more permutations that just take their single stock funds and they just theme them for us like Chippy and GPTY, but they kind of slowed down because I think a lot of people were like, hey, you need to focus up and take care of the funds you already have before we give you any more of our money. So that would be my question is, if we're talking about YMAX, what would you do to try to fix it? Or would you like a new fund, and how would you want that to be made up? And I'll talk to you later. Bye.